Hello, my name's Ellie. I'm a chiropractor and a Pilates instructor. I want to say we're on day 16, hopefully this is day 16 of this lower back pain challenge. I've lost track. And today we are going to be focusing on strengthening the back. I'm going to focus on the lower back, but also a little bit of the upper back today. It's all connected. So any injuries, any conditions, just make sure that you are signed off by your healthcare professional to do this safely. And if you're going to do it anyway, just do it at your own risk. Okay. For today, I'm going to get us started on our hands and our knees. So if you come down onto your hands and onto your knees, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and just going to go through a few cat-cows here. So, surprise, surprise, if you take a breath in, you're going to arch your lower back, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and then on your exhale, rounding, just starting to move the spine a little bit. You don't have to be too specific with this, just want to get a little bit of movement going. Let's do this twice more. You're going to arch, lift the crown of the head, lift the tailbone. Feel free to pause or deepen any parts of this. Breath out and round. Come back a little bit. Once more, breath in. And breath out. Fantastic, right. Find somewhere in the middle of those two positions. We're going to call that your neutral spine. It's probably not your neutral spine, but we're going to, whatever that is. But we're going to work in that position, somewhere between the cat and the cow. From here, elbows soft. We're going to try and keep our body really still. You're just going to take a breath in and extend the right arm out the shoulder, trying to cover your ear with your bicep. Don't worry if it doesn't quite get there today. But what we're trying to avoid is a sort of lift up through the body. We want to stay really still and fix through our body. And then the breath out, control the arm down. Same on the left side. Take a breath in, extending out of the shoulder. And breath out, control it down. Right side, breathing in. And breathing out. Left side, breath in. Breath out. Let's just do one more on each side. Right side, take a breath in and a breath out. Left side, breath in and breath out. Okay, take a little rest if you need to, if that was feeling quite a lot on the shoulders. If you feel okay, hands stay underneath the shoulders, knees stay underneath the hips. We're going to go through a cat-cow, but just through our lower back. So I want you to tuck your tailbone down towards the floor to start off with. Try not to bring it into the upper body. Just tuck the tailbone down towards the floor. And then lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Little arch in the lower back there. Twice more. Tuck. Oh, it's really hard to isolate. And then extend. But we're working on it. Once more, tuck. And extend. And you can either carry on with that. If you want to make it considerably harder, you're going to tuck your toes, lift your knees 1 inch off the floor, hold it here, and we are going to tuck. And we are going to arch. And we are going to tuck. And we are going to arch. Really trying to isolate the lower back. It's really hard. We are going to tuck. And we are going to arch. Fantastic. And then pop the knees down if they are up. Keep your toes tucked if they are not already. Set your hips back towards your heels. Slide the hands forward, just relaxing the shoulders for a moment. We're going to come straight up to a high plank. So you're going to push off your toes, bringing your weight back into your hands. So just take it all the way forward back into that high plank. And we're going to hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze the elbows to your body. Lower yourself down. I'm just going to come backwards. I've got a little bit of space to extend my arms. So my hands are coming either side of, well, actually not in line with my head. My elbows are in line with my shoulders. My hands are going to be slightly above my head. Legs are hip distance apart here, so not too wide, not too narrow. And as always, tailbone slightly tucked towards the floor. So quite often we have this sort of hip hinge here, this sort of lift of the hips. You might not have that, but if you do, we just want to think about slightly, very slightly tucking the tailbone so we have lots of length through the lower back. Now from here, hands are going to stay in line with our head, on the same plane of motion as our head, as we start to lift from the chest up. So I want you to take a breath in, start to lift the chest, the head, the neck, the shoulders. Try not to let the arms drop. And then slowly control it down. We're going to do 4 more like that. Take a breath in. I'm not necessarily after height here. I want you to imagine something sort of pulling you forward, and then we're starting to pull you up. Breath out, rolling it down. 3 more. Take a breath in. So pulling forward and up. Breath out. Controlling it down. 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. Once more. Breath in. Holding it here. If you want an added challenge, oh, my legs are trying to come off the floor. Try and get your legs on the floor. If you want an added challenge, extend the arms and hold it there. 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3. I'm trying to not use this to cheat. 4, 2, and 1. Whew, let's give your hips a little rock from side to side. Fantastic work. Okay, so we're going to push ourselves back up into a high plank. If the next exercise feels too much in your high plank, you're going to do it on your knees. The main aim of the game is keep your body still. We're focusing on extending from the thigh, not from the actual lower back or the body. So body still, just move the leg. So coming up either to hands and knees, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, or coming up to your high plank, pushing through your hands, through your toes, trying to go in a straight line. Okay, so from here, body stays still. You're going to take a breath in, float the right leg up and away. And then on your exhale, control it down. Same on the left, take a breath in. And a breath out. Right side, breath in. Breath out. Your hips are going to probably want to do this, try and avoid that. Left side. Fantastic. Once more on each side, right side. A little shaky. Left side. Good. Okay, and then pop the knees down. Come back to a child's pose, but this time in the child's pose, I want you to just put your hips back. Take your hands either side of your hips and just let everything sort of drop down. Really let the shoulders and the scapula open. Okay, and for our final challenge, we're going to have a seat. We are going to have our feet about hip distance apart here. Hands going to go either side, well, behind us, and then ideally we're going to go wider, just very slightly wider than the hips, because in a second I'm going to try and get you to slide your hips through your hands, so just make sure there is enough room for that if you want to try that option. So hands facing same direction as toes. Elbows soft, try not to lock the elbows out, like if you've got really bendy elbows like myself, we're looking for a little lock there. What am I even saying? We're looking for a micro bend there, not a lock. We're going to push into our feet, push into the hands, take a breath in, start to squeeze your butt and look up to the ceiling. We're looking for a straightish line from our knees to our head, straightish. So we want to sort of avoid this sinking down, we want to lift up. And we're going to hold it there for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, all toes on the floor, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you can either sit down or you can try and come onto your heels, pull your hips through your hands and have a seat. And then we're going to forward flex. So you're going to let everything just really curve forward, get hold of whatever you can get hold of. Your thighs, your calves, your ankles, round the spine. Just give yourself a gentle pull in. Giving the hamstrings a nice stretch out, really curving the lower back so we get a sort of lengthening through the lower back here. 3, 2, 1, and 2. 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 3, 2, 1, And then slowly, steady, bring yourself up to seated, and we will leave it there for today. Fantastic work.